Welcome, seekers of confidence and courage. Today we journey through the ancient world, through Egypt's deserts, India's mountain temples, and Greece's marble courts, discovering how self-belief was forged by pharaohs, gurus, and philosophers long before our smartphones and social media feeds. We will weave these timeless lessons into our modern daily lives, giving you a map that bridges ages and shows you how to plant the seed of belief in your own heart. Chapter 1: The Sunlit Pharaoh. In the golden age of Egypt, the pharaoh Seti I heard a whisper as he walked along the Nile. An old fisherman had a bronze mirror polished to such clarity that it reflected the sky, not just his face. Seti, skeptical, demanded the fisherman show him what he saw. The man pointed to the bright sun, declaring, "Even the smallest fish can see the light of the sky if the reflection is clear." Seti laughed, until one day a famine swept the lands. The pharaoh saw how the fish kept surviving because they remembered the sun behind the water. Their belief in that sun sustained them through desolation. Motivational insight. The fable teaches us that belief can turn a crisis into a chance to find new light. Self-belief is like the fisherman's mirror, clear, focused, and indifferent to the storms that may surround it. Concrete example. If you're facing a professional setback, pause and write down the one quality you genuinely trust in yourself. Revisit that line every time you feel doubt. Let it be your personal mirror. Conclusion. Like the ancient river that never stops flowing, your inner belief can carry you forward even when the waters ahead are murky. Call to action. If this story resonated, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the wisdom of the ages. Reflective question. What is the sun you keep reflecting on when you feel like giving up? Chapter 2: The Path of the Warrior Guru. In the mountains of India, a young Arjuna hesitated before the great river Yama. He felt fear that no skill could match the great armies that had crossed the river with swords and glory. His charioteer, the god Krishna, spoke of dharma, purpose, as the compass that steadies the heart. He urged Arjuna to believe in the path he was walking, not in what others had done. Krishna's advice was simple. When you know your purpose, fear dissolves, and the heart's conviction becomes an unstoppable force. Arjuna, remembering his warrior duty, stepped forward with renewed confidence, and his arrows found true marks. Motivational insight. True self-belief stems from aligning your actions with your deepest purpose. When duty and desire merge, fear evaporates like morning mist. Concrete example. Start by clarifying your core mission. Write a one-sentence statement that captures why you do what you do. Call it your personal mantra. Use this mantra whenever you feel indecision or uncertainty. Conclusion. Your purpose becomes the wind beneath your wings, carrying you beyond doubt into excellence. Call to action. If you found this ancient warrior's lesson useful, please share, and subscribe so we can keep exploring these timeless truths. Reflective question. What is the one purpose that defines your every action at work and at home? Chapter 3: The Stoic Scribe. Marcus Aurelius, emperor-philosopher of Rome, penned his thoughts in the Meditations, a personal journal written to remind himself that reality was not a series of external victories or defeats, but a series of choices to focus on the inner arena. One entry stated, "Your life is what your thoughts make it. I cannot change the events that unfold, but I can shape how I respond to them." Throughout his reign, Marcus faced intrigue, war, and personal loss, yet he never lost his conviction. His self-belief was not an unshakable confidence of invincibility, but a disciplined commitment to act with virtue regardless of outcome. For his Senate, he would remind himself how powerful a heart that believes in its own moral compass can be. He did not allow the opinions of others to erode his sense of purpose. Instead, he fortified his thoughts, knowing that only self-belief could sustain him amid chaos. Motivational insight. Self-belief thrives when you control your inner narrative, not when you depend on external approval. The Stoic master turned his eye inward, seeing confidence from within, rooted in rational clarity. Concrete example. Try a daily Stoic check-in. At sunrise, ask yourself, what can I control today? Which thoughts will serve my highest purpose? Record the answer in a notebook and revisit it midday to keep your mind anchored. Conclusion. When you master your mind, external turmoil becomes a backdrop rather than a stage for self-doubt. Call to action. If you feel the power of reflective practice awakening within you, tap like, share, and subscribe to hear more stories of the masters. Reflective question. Which thoughts would you choose to dominate your day if you ruled them alone? Chapter 4, The Lotus in the Mud. Beyond the desert to the far east, there was a small village where a young woman named Hana grew a lotus flower in the murky riverbed. The villagers told her it would never bloom. Yet she nurtured it with patience, believing the lotus could rise above the sludge because it had a core self-belief that even the darkest water could not drown its light. When seasons passed, the lotus unfurled, shimmering against the black water, inspiring awe. Hana's story echoes the ancient myth of the lotus itself, a flower that emerges pristine from the mud, a metaphor for purity, resilience, and self-belief. It demonstrates that belief in yourself can cleanse the most toxic circumstances. Motivational insight. Self-belief functions as the core of your being, separating you from external negativity. Like the lotus, you can flourish even in adverse environments. Concrete example. Plant a belief seed today. Choose a small, personal challenge, perhaps speaking in a meeting or writing a blog post. Commit confidently, knowing the obstacle does not own you. Conclusion. When you trust in your own inherent worth, even the mud can become a springboard for your growth. Call to action. If the lotus analogy touched you, please like, share, and subscribe to keep cultivating your inner garden. Reflective question. What is the most muddy challenge you can see yourself turning into a blooming success? Chapter 5, The Mirror of the Market. In the bustling trade cities of the early Americas, a young merchant named Diego faced a drought that threatened his grain shipments. His competitors blamed bad luck. He saw an opportunity. Diego kept an honest inventory of his strengths, and with this self-belief, he renegotiated trade routes with distant allies. When the next season came, his wheat thrived, and he gained the trust of the entire market. Modern entrepreneurs echo Diego's strategy. Self-belief coupled with honest self-assessment invites innovation and partnership. When you believe in your capabilities, others will be compelled to join your vision. Motivational insight. Self-confidence attracts collaboration. Your belief opens doors to partnerships that would otherwise stay locked. Concrete example. Identify a skill you possess that others might find valuable. Offer to demonstrate this skill for a small audience, maybe in a coffee shop, a parking space, or a virtual webinar, highlighting how it can help solve a common problem. Conclusion. Your conviction is a catalyst, turning possibility into partnership. Call to action. If you felt the power of partnership, like, subscribe and share so that we can bring more real stories into the conversation. Reflective question. Which skill, if confidently offered, could open new doors in your current field? Philosophy Spotlight, Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy that teaches that we cannot control external events, but we do control our thoughts and reactions. Marcus Aurelius, in his own words, reminded himself that calm, reasoned responses were his ultimate freedom. Key figure, Epictetus, a former slave, who taught that it is not what happens to you that matters, but how you interpret it. He cultivated a life of disciplined thought, using self-belief as his anchor. Lesson 1, Distinguish control. Stoics view each moment as a choice. By identifying which aspects of a situation you can influence, you free yourself from needless anxiety. Focus your self-confidence on the small hands you hold. Lesson 2, Resilience through reflection. Regular reflection allows you to recalibrate your beliefs. Epictetus would hold a journal, noting daily what he could change and what he accepted. This practice turns setbacks into learning and strengthens self-belief each day. Lesson 3, Tranquility equals power. A calm mind is not passive. It is a powerful presence. When you believe in your internal steadiness during external turbulence, whether in business negotiations or personal life, you display a form of confidence that others find compelling. Connecting to the theme. Self-belief is the common thread linking Egyptian resilience, Hindu purpose, and Stoic calm. Each tradition teaches that belief must be anchored within oneself, independent of external validation. By embracing Stoic clarity, you strengthen your inner compass and align your actions with purpose, just as the ancient prophets and merchants did. Closing reflection. You have traveled from the sun-shined pyramids of Egypt to the disciplined hearts of Roman emperors, from the purposeful chants of Indian gurus to the quiet resilience of Stoic philosophers. Each story invites you to plant the seed of self-belief, nurture it with purpose, and let it flourish against any storm. Now take this insight. Your belief is your greatest asset. Begin tomorrow by choosing one small action that reaffirms this truth. Whether it's drafting that purpose statement, journaling your Stoic check-in, or offering your unique skill to the world, let your belief light the way. Feel the fire of confidence rise, share that flame. Like, share, and subscribe to continue this journey. And if you found this script uplifting, let us know by commenting below. What ancient lesson will you apply today to boost your self-belief?